You can never outrun a tsunami. Also, it is not possible to get early warning of tsunami. Today we will discuss some such submarines, which can create tsunamis more dangerous than naturally occurring tsunamis. Many of these submarines are more powerful than heavy bombs. There are also submarines that can destroy the entire world. Yes, you heard it right. Underwater submarines have the power to destroy the world, and there are some submarines that can save our lives from our worst cyclones and disasters. But how amazing Revel brought that information for you today. So let's know. U-31. The U-31 submarine built in World War I could carry a total of 45 people. But later, due to the Cold War, many large submarines started to be built. Each of them can carry more than 100 people on their mission. Moreover, they usually have two nuclear reactors for their power supply. It also has a chamber for several missile turbines, a control center, and cabins for soldiers. This 31 submarine is about 150 meters long. The Shark, another Russian submarine, is a copy of the USS Ohio. But which one is stronger? The two submarines were commissioned in 1981 when the US was at the height of its nuclear war. Although the two submarines are roughly the same length, the Shark is only 3 meters longer than the Ohio. That is 173 meters. But in width it is 10 meters more than Ohio. That's why it occupies a volume of about 48,000 tons underwater. Each of the 24 missiles in the U.S. Ohio submarine can completely destroy any coastal area of 300 square kilometers. And the power of Russian submarines is exactly the same. But the size of Russian missiles at that time required a lot of space to operate them. And that's why the size of the Shark is much bigger than the Ohio, even though it has the power. Pilgrim. The largest submarine built in Russia is about 360 meters long. This is in addition to two nuclear reactors with a second reactor connected. These three nuclear reactors together can produce 110 megawatts of power, enough power to power 11,000 buildings. But despite having so much power, the submarine does not have a single missile. Because this submarine was built to transfer natural gas from one country to another. Submarines can go on expeditions to several times more countries than ordinary ships. It could even break up the Antarctic ice sheet. This submarine is like a giant whale, which looks huge but can do no harm. Arcturus. This submariner is named after the bright star. It is very different from other submarines in the world. Its length is 133 meters. This length is quite important for submarines. It can hide itself completely from the enemy thanks to its extraordinary design and special functions. This technology allows Arcturus to move very close to the opposite side without any problems. It is almost impossible to find it with any other submarine, and through the advanced technology used in it, it can identify the submarine of the enemy through the presence of chemicals in the water or through radiation. And then it can destroy the submarine of the enemy. It can easily hit objects that are far away with advanced technology weapons used in it. This submarine has great combat capabilities, but it has a lot of risks. If the submarine can somehow reach the enemy's shore, then it can launch 12 missiles simultaneously towards the enemy. The total power of which is calculated to be 15,000 times more than the little boy bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Also, the impact of this missile causes a lot of vibration in the water. The tremors are so large that it can easily generate a tsunami over 500 meters high, which will destroy all coastal areas in just a few minutes. Two Arcturus can easily destroy all the islands of the world. And if the United States were to use all of their nuclear weapons in response, there would be a disaster on Satika's world that you and I might not be able to escape. But here's a but: Arcturus is only an idea so far. The Russians haven't built any such submarines yet. According to many experts, this is only a Russian plan to scare the Americans. Belgorod submarine. This submarine simultaneously carries 6 large bombs with a total capacity of 100 megatons. One bomb is about 20 meters long and looks like a school bus. Each bomb will destroy everything in the area of 2,000 kilometers. This Belgorod submarine receives all orders directly from Russian President Putin. We all know that submarines can destroy many things very easily. But during all the great calamities in the world, can the submarine be a safe place for us? In the past 10 years, large waves and tsunamis have caused extensive damage in places like Japan, Indonesia, or Greenland. About 30,000 people died in it. Another 20,000 people have gone missing. Although we have the technology to provide information about an incoming tsunami, coastal people do not have time to move to safety before the tsunami hits. According to environmental scientists, if such a disaster were to hit the Earth, the height of all the seas of the world would rise by a large amount within 30 years. As a result, many areas of the world will be submerged or are likely to be submerged, although such disaster was seen on Earth 6,000 years ago. But in the future, all the coastal areas of the world will sink. In such a situation, the submarine may be our last hope. Usually, the epicenter of a tsunami is 30 to 45 meters below sea level. In other words, to escape from this great disaster, you have to go down 30 to 45 meters in the sea with a submarine. But the matter is actually not that simple. According to the military, the effect of the tsunami in the depth of the ocean will also affect the submarine. Tsunami earthquakes can easily drive any submarine far or deep into the sea. So to survive a disaster may require going deeper than that. If we want to go to a depth of more than 120 meters in such an emergency, there will be a lot of pressure on the engine of the submarine. As a result, all the members in the submarine are sure to die in the explosion. Such was the case with the Soviet submarine K-27. The submarine used liquid metal instead of water as the pooling agent for the nuclear reactor. On May 24, 1968, a strong storm hit the submarine while at sea. The storm caused the submarine to melt hot metal on its nuclear reactor. 105 crew members aboard the submarine were fatally affected by nuclear radiation. The amount of this radiation was 600 to 1,000. That is much more than any normal tolerance. 6 sailors died on the spot in this accident. The radiation from the submarine was so high that it was later sunk into the ocean. K8. On April 12, 1970, the then Film Union was conducting a sea exercise. As part of this, the K8 submarine was surfacing from a depth of 50 meters. At that time, a fire broke out in the submarine for some reason. From there, a short circuit was created again. The fire spread throughout the submarine. Fire even broke out near the submarine's nuclear reactor. The members of the submarine risked their lives to put out the fire to prevent a bigger disaster. Later, with great difficulty, the submarine was raised to the sea surface. Some members of submarines dive into seawater to save their lives. This is not the end when the storm hits. The submarine lost control. As a result, some members on the orders of the military commander made a last-ditch effort to save the submarine, but all their efforts were in vain. 4 days after the incident, the submarine sank into the ocean. At that time, there were 52 soldiers as well as captain among the submen. They all died together. If you like the video, you can like and subscribe to become a member of our family. Have a nice day.